46? Hide-seek? Author's POV? Am I real? Jackie repeated her question, tilting his head slightly. Then, with deliberate exaggeration, he ran his hands over his chest, pressing his palms against his torso as if checking for signs of life. Flesh, blood, warmth, sensitivity. Yes, I suppose I am real. He smirked, his tone laced with playful wit. Lavanya inhaled sharply, her hands trembling slightly. "Oh my God," she murmured, overwhelmed by his presence. Jackie frowned slightly. "What?" "You're here," she managed to whisper, but her thoughts collided with one another, stopping her from saying more. "Yes, I am." "Why, do you doubt it?" He tilted his lips into a lopsided grin. She looked down, gathering her thoughts, then slowly lifted her gaze back to him, confusion clouding her expression. "But you left. You were gone. You left India." "Yes." He took a slow step towards her. "I was gone, but..." He stepped even closer, stopping just inches from her. His eyes roamed over her face, tracing the soft contours of her features, her hair, her eyes, her cheeks, her lips, before returning to her gaze. "I came back." His voice was low, almost a whisper, rich with something unspoken. Lavanya swallowed hard as a storm of emotions churned within her chest. "I wish you were here 2 days ago." The thought echoed in her mind, unspoken yet profound. A tear slid down her cheek before she even realized it. "I kept seeing you everywhere, wishing it was real." She bit her lip, struggling to contain the overwhelming emotions that threatened to break free. She didn't want him to know how much his absence had hurt her, how much his return now meant. Jackie noticed the silent tear, his brows knitting together. He hadn't expected this. He had imagined a surprised Lavanya, perhaps even a little flustered. But this was something else. Her face was an open book, one filled with long-buried emotions and an undeniable truth he could now see clearly. "That was not the reaction I expected," he finally murmured, reaching out to wipe the tear from her cheek with his thumb. Lavanya's lips parted, and for a fleeting moment she almost said it. You... Yeah." He leaned in slightly, urging her to continue, hope flickering in his eyes. "Why did you come so late? Why weren't you here that day?" The questions trembled on her lips, but no sound escaped. Jackie watched her mouth move, trying to decipher the silent words. "What?" he asked softly, trying to read her. She turned her face away, her heart clenching painfully. This was too much, too complicated. She loved him, but she couldn't tell him. Not now. Not when she had already promised herself to someone else's, not when she had convinced everyone, including herself, that she was happy. "Why are you doing this to me, God?" Jackie studied her carefully, sensing something deeper beneath her hesitation. "Do you want to say something, Lavanya?" His voice wasn't demanding, it was hopeful. She slowly turned back to look at him, her chest tightening at the sight of the man she had fallen for. "Yes, he likes me. That much is obvious. But does he love me the way I love him? It's confusing. It's complicated." She took a shaky breath. What are you doing here?" she finally asked, needing to understand why he had suddenly returned. Jackie raised an eyebrow. "Why? You didn't like seeing me here?" There was something playful in his tone, but his eyes searched hers, waiting for an answer, waiting for the truth she was too afraid to say.
Jackie's POV, "No, sir. I mean, you left India." Lavanya's voice wavered. "To never come back, isn't that what you said?" Her words struck him like a sharp reminder, taking him back to their conversation on the bus during the Taj Mahal trip. "I am leaving India." Jackie hesitated for a moment before replying, Yeah, but work brought me back here." He half lied, hoping it sounded convincing. Lavanya lowered her gaze, unsurprised by his response. "Of course. Exactly what I expected." Her cheeks were sore from the constant wiping, faint traces of dried tears still visible. Her nose and eyes were red, evidence of the emotional turmoil she'd been fighting. "Of course," she murmured without looking up. Jackie watched her carefully, concern etching into his features. "Love, are you sure you're okay?" His voice softened. "I mean, you seem a little off, and last night too, you just..." He hesitated. "What?" Her brows furrowed slightly. Clearing his throat, he narrowed his eyes as he asked, "You don't have a habit of sleepwalking, do you?" The unexpected question made her tense. She swallowed hard. "What? Why is he asking me this now?" No, why?" she stammered, shifting uneasily. Jackie studied her reaction before continuing. "Well, last night I saw you..." Before he could finish, his phone rang, interrupting him. Both of them winced at the sudden sound. Excuse me." He pulled out his phone, glancing at the screen with mild confusion. "Stella?" he muttered aloud. The name sent a sharp pang through Lavanya's chest. "Stella?" She blinked rapidly, switching her gaze between him and his phone. Her heart pounded, her breathing quickening as jealousy crept in. Jackie held up his index finger, silently asking for a moment, and then answered the call. "Yeah, Stella?" Silence. "Yes," he said after a pause. Lavanya strained to hear, but she couldn't make out the words from the other end. Silence. "Well, everyone knows," Jackie spoke again, his voice calm. More silence, followed by what seemed like an endless rant from Stella. Jackie remained quiet, listening patiently. Lavanya clenched her fists, frustration bubbling within her. Why is he listening to her so intently? Then Jackie's tone softened. "Please, Stella, go to sleep, you're drunk." His gentle, almost caring voice sent Lavanya over the edge. He sounds so sweet with her. The thought infuriated her. She refused to listen to another second of their conversation. Without waiting for him to finish, she spun on her heels and stormed out of his office. Jackie's POV, "No, sir. I mean, you left India." Lavanya's voice wavered. "To never come back, isn't that what you said?" Her words struck him like a sharp reminder, taking him back to their conversation on the bus during the Taj Mahal trip. "I am leaving India." Jackie hesitated for a moment before replying, Yeah, but work brought me back here." He half lied, hoping it sounded convincing. Lavanya lowered her gaze, unsurprised by his response. "Of course. Exactly what I expected." Her cheeks were sore from the constant wiping, faint traces of dried tears still visible. Her nose and eyes were red, evidence of the emotional turmoil she'd been fighting. "Of course," she murmured without looking up. Jackie watched her carefully, concern etching into his features. "Love, are you sure you're okay?" His voice softened. "I mean, you seem a little off, and last night too, you just..." He hesitated. "What?" Her brows furrowed slightly. Clearing his throat, he narrowed his eyes as he asked, "You don't have a habit of sleepwalking, do you?" The unexpected question made her tense. She swallowed hard. "What? Why is he asking me this now?" No, why?" she stammered, shifting uneasily. Jackie studied her reaction before continuing. "Well, last night I saw you..." Before he could finish, his phone rang, interrupting him. Both of them winced at the sudden sound. Excuse me." He pulled out his phone, glancing at the screen with mild confusion. "Stella?" he muttered aloud. The name sent a sharp pang through Lavanya's chest. "Stella?" She blinked rapidly, switching her gaze between him and his phone. Her heart pounded, her breathing quickening as jealousy crept in. Jackie held up his index finger, silently asking for a moment, and then answered the call. "Yeah, Stella?" Silence. "Yes," he said after a pause. Lavanya strained to hear, but she couldn't make out the words from the other end. Silence. "Well, everyone knows," Jackie spoke again, his voice calm. More silence, followed by what seemed like an endless rant from Stella. Jackie remained quiet, listening patiently. Lavanya clenched her fists, frustration bubbling within her. Why is he listening to her so intently? Then Jackie's tone softened. Please, Stella, go to sleep. You're drunk. His gentle, almost caring voice sent Lavanya over the edge. He sounds so sweet with her. The thought infuriated her. She refused to listen to another second of their conversation. Without waiting for him to finish, she spun on her heels and stormed out of his office.
Lavanya's POV. I marched out of his office, my mind clouded with frustration. What was that? It sounded like a couple's late-night phone call. I didn't return to my cabin. Instead, I headed straight for the terrace, needing fresh air. But before I could get there, I crashed into Ruhi, who was carrying 2 mugs of coffee. Hot liquid splashed all over my dupatta and right arm. Ah, hish! I winced as a sharp burning sensation spread across my skin. Shit! Are you blind? Rui snapped instinctively, but the moment she saw me, her expression shifted. Lavi, oh my god, are you okay? I squeezed my eyes shut, biting my lip as the pain intensified. Can't you see? I'm burnt? I snapped. Oh, I'm sorry. She quickly set the mugs down on a nearby table and grabbed my wrist. Come with me. She pulled me towards the small kitchen sink, helping me rinse my arm under cold water. Then, she grabbed a handful of ice cubes from the counter and gently pressed them against the burn. Are you okay, Amma? Kripal uncle, the canteen manager, rushed over, concern in his voice. Yes, uncle. I managed a weak smile, gently massaging the ice cubes over my burnt arm. Do you want me to bring some ointment? He offered kindly. No, thank you, uncle. I'm fine. I reassured him as Rui draped my half-wet dupatta back over my left shoulder. I'm sorry. It was my mistake, she admitted, rolling her eyes. I didn't see you coming so fast. I was too busy trying to balance those massive steaming mugs. Virat sir must be waiting for his coffee. Okay, take care then. Let me know if you need any help. Kripal uncle said before heading back to his counter. I'm fine, Ruhi. You should go, I insisted. No, I am not leaving you alone. She refused outright. Please, Ruhi, I pleaded, feeling more irritable. Not at her, but at someone else entirely. Just leave me alone for a few minutes. Okay. She dragged out the wood, giving me a strange look before finally taking another mug of coffee and walking away. I climbed the stairs to the terrace, squeezing the excess water from my dupatta. My fingers traced the faint burn marks on my arm as I gazed over the city skyline. It was almost noon, but thick clouds shielded the sun, making the weather pleasantly cool and breezy. It was that in-between season, where monsoon faded into autumn, neither too hot nor too cold, just grey skies and a restless wind. I closed my eyes for a moment, inhaling deeply. I need to stop thinking about him. But it was impossible.
Jackie's POV. I cleared my throat and finally asked the question that had been on my mind since last night. You don't have a habit of sleepwalking, do you? She blinked rapidly, her voice faltering. No. Why? Last night, I hesitated, trying to phrase it in a way that wouldn't embarrass her. I saw you. Before I could finish, my phone rang, making both of us flinch. Excuse me. I pulled it out of my pocket, frowning when I saw the caller ID. Stella? Why is she calling my personal number? I held up my index finger, signaling Lavanya to wait, and picked up the call. Yeah, Stella? Hello, Dawson, she drawled, her tone as sultry as ever. I sighed. Yes. You didn't tell anyone, she accused, her voice slightly slurred. Well, everyone knows, I responded flatly. Except me, she snapped. Why didn't you tell me? You ignored me the other day like I didn't even exist. I've been calling you all day and night and you're avoiding me. What changed, huh? I stiffened at her words. What do I even say to that? She's definitely drunk. That's the only reason she's talking like this. Please, Stella, go to sleep. You're drunk. I kept my tone calm, knowing that one wrong word could turn this into a mess. I miss you, Dawson, she mumbled sleepily. I rolled my eyes, but just as I was about to reply, the sharp sound of a door slamming made me spin around. Lavanya. I turned just in time to see the door shut behind her. She was gone. Shit. I wanted to call out to stop her, but I was still on the phone, and now I had a feeling she'd heard just enough to misunderstand everything. Stella, please get some sleep. I'm sure you'll feel better by morning, okay? Gotta go. Good night, I said, ending the call without waiting for her response. Exhaling sharply, I slid the curtains slightly to peek into Lavanya's cabin. Empty. Where did she go? I checked the hall, every department on every floor, even went downstairs. But she was nowhere to be found. This girl is seriously going to send me to an asylum one day. Standing in the middle of the corridor, hands on my hips, I scanned my surroundings, frustration building up. Did she leave? I frowned. I made my way to the canteen. No sign of her there either. How do I find her? Think, Dawson, think. Oh, Ruhi. She must know. Without wasting another second, I practically ran to Ruhi's new department. The moment I opened the door, without knocking, of course, I instantly regretted it, because standing right there was the last person on earth I wanted to see. Virat. That smiley-faced bastard. Both of them looked up from the computer screen, stunned. Ruhi was seated behind her desk, her hand still on the mouse. Virat stood next to her, his left hand in his pocket, his right holding a mug, probably filled with coffee he didn't deserve. They were clearly working on something, but now they were just gaping at me. Mr. Dawson? Virat frowned, his confusion evident. Of course, he had no idea I was back, and obviously he never wanted me to be. How sad. Very, very sad, dickhead. Smirking, I turned my attention to Ruhi, who still looked frozen in place. Miss Ruhi? Yes, sir. She shot up from her chair like she was about to be interrogated. Do you know where Miss Lavanya is? Huh. She blinked, clearly caught off guard. I rolled my eyes. I'm asking about my personal secretary, Miss Lavanya Verma. Do you have any idea where she is? Ruhi darted a glance at her pissed-off boss before hesitantly answering. She was in the canteen when I last saw her, sir. I just came from there. She isn't there. Any idea where else she might be? Ruhi's eyes shifted as she thought hard. Maybe the washroom? Or the garden? Or maybe the terrace? I nodded. Thanks. Before leaving, I spared a glance at Virat, whose face was practically fuming. Where's that smug, smiley face now, dear jackass? I smirked. Just as I was closing the door, I heard him whisper to Ruhi, What the hell is he doing here? Oh, Virat. This time, I'm here to completely kick you out of Lavanya's life, asshole. I knocked on the ladies' washroom door, but a female employee stepped out and informed me that no one else was inside. No Lavanya. I checked the campus garden next, scanning for a girl in Indian attire like my girl always wore. Still no sign of her. Stop playing hide-and-seek with me, love. With only one place left to check, I turned back to the canteen and climbed the stairs to the terrace. If she isn't there, she's either already left, or I missed her while searching. Reaching the door, I exhaled deeply, feeling exhausted from all the running. Great, I don't miss the gym anymore. All thanks to you, Miss Lavanya. Pushing the door open, I finally found her, the love of my life. She stood by the railing, gazing out at the city, completely lost in thought. Her hands rested gently on the fence, her hair and stole fluttering wildly in the strong breeze. Even from behind, she looked breathtaking in that mauve chiffon dress. I took a deep breath, feeling an unexpected calm settle over me, and slowly walked towards her. She was so lost in her own world that she didn't even notice my presence. I stood just behind her, close enough that the soft fabric of her stole occasionally brushed against my skin, but she remained unaware. I took a moment to admire her. The way the wind played with her hair, the way she stood still yet seemed to be battling a storm within. I need to tell you how much I love you. But before that, hey love. I spoke in the softest tone I could manage. She stiffened.